turns physical. The ironing board is leaning up against the wall. I beat her with it. She put me out. I end up living in, my best friend at the time, she also passed away, was dating this like drug dealer guy, and he had this apartment where they kept the guns and the drugs, and they made the drugs and they counted the money.
Trap house?
It wasn't the trap house where they sold the stuff. It was the hangout trap house where they manufactured the stuff.
Okay.
It was like the factory trap house.
Okay.
Where they hung out at.
The fact house.
The fact house, right. So
In Florida, they call it
we always spent time there with them. So when that night when I left my mother's house, I went over there because I didn't have anywhere else to go, and they were like, "You can stay here." So I stayed there.
What was going through your mind at that time? Like, what are you thinking at that time? You going into this house?
Survival.
Like,
I'm a mother. I'm a 18-year-old mother. I'm just trying to survive.
Did you didn't figure it out? You just like
survive and provide.
Yeah.
So it was
my daughter's father had gotten murdered. He was shot 18 times, so he wasn't around.
So so at this time, you're just trying to figure out step by step, not even day by day.
Yeah, step by step, minute by minute.
Yeah, that's true. It's more minute by minute, right?
So I lived.
I
lived in this apartment. I slept with AR-15s under the bed. I learned how to. I counted a lot of money. I helped them with their books. I eventually learned how to chop and bag crack and weed and weigh and all of that. So they would have me sitting at the table. I'm a caregiver. I come from a very large family. My mother was like big mama of just not the family, but of the neighborhood. So there was always a open door, a warm place to sleep, and a hot meal in my house for anyone who needed it. So that's one of the things that I definitely took most from my mother than my 3 siblings. And I'm very much like my mother in that way. So when I'm in this house with my 2 best friends and all of these guys, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning. There was even a point in time where I sucked a few dicks, and I was being taken care of very well. But
and the guys are respectful to you.
Yeah, one of them was my friend's boyfriend. I dated. Well, I don't date, but I dealt with another one eventually, and then there might have been like a plug or an associate from the streets that came through once or twice that I slid off with. But
wait, so one of them was your friend's boyfriend?
So my best friend who passed away, it was her boyfriend was like the main of this group of guys.
The head honcho.
He was like Nino Brown
Okay.
of the crew.
So did she know that?
Yeah.
She was cool with it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's all.
We was 17 and 18. We was little.
No. Listen,
and they were young too.
Listen, when I was 17, well, not really. I had a little girlfriend, but like 19, we knew.
Yeah. So
But I'm sorry, but my question was like, was you messing around with the guys part of the survival, or it was
absolutely. For sure.
They expected
so
that
the one guy that I had a thing with, it was a mutual like flirtation thing, and I fucked him a few times, and that was it. The plug or the street associate that came through and snatched me up here and there, it was definitely like. So one of the guys they told me not to deal with. Like, so these guys became my brothers.
Okay.
Right? The guys in the house became my brothers. So they told me not to deal with this one guy. He's no good. We do business with him. And if something happened between y'all and he disrespected you, we going to have to choose you over him. And that's going to fuck up business. So stay away from him.
Yep.
Did I listen?
Nope.
Absolutely not.
Why did you really like him? Why?
It's like the thrill of like when somebody tell you not to do something and you want to know why. So you do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get that, like, it's like when your mom tell you, like, don't eat the chocolate because it's going to make your stomach hurt because you ain't had no dinner. And you go and sneak and eat the chocolate. Like, I was eating the chocolate. And let me tell you, this guy was the first guy who, even though I didn't expect or ask or even know about, like, a exchange of money for services type of situation. The first time I went out with this guy, we went out to eat, we went to the movies, we ended up in some hotel, we fucked. He brought me back the next morning, and before I got out the car, he passed me $500. And he's like, put this in your pocket. And then every time I seen him, he would give me money. So.
What did that feel like?
I had $500.
I feel so bad because, like, a lot of women...
I mean, somebody could associate that with love.
Well, it's literally a trick. That's why it's called tricking.
Yeah, but I didn't know that was.
No, he was young though. He was getting money.
He was like 23, but I didn't know that that's what this was. And prior to that, I had dealt with a man who, when I was 15, I dealt with a man who was like 23, and he did a lot of things for me too. Like, he was that guy that, you know how they say like all of the pretty girls in high school got the older drug dealer boys that come pick them up. Like, I had that whole thing happen.
At 15.
At 15, yeah. And this guy was like really poured in. Like, we should not have been having sex, but he really poured into me a lot of what you get from me today. A lot of the confidence, a lot of the bad bitch energy, a lot of the I'm not dealing with a man that's not going to make sure I'm straight energy, because he would like drill that, almost like pimp, like drill that into my head. 15, I dealt with him till I was 22. So 15, 16, 17, I'm dealing with him, and he's like, if you fucking a nigga and he know your phone bill need to be paid and don't pay it, don't fuck that nigga no more, because he should make sure you straight. Like, that type of time.
There's a group of men telling you that the one man who I believe, I don't want to speak down on him, but we would call him Simpty, right? Telling you don't bite the bait, but you bit the bait. Now, I'm curious to figure out what happened between you, him, and your brothers.
Well, this was an overlapping thing, but this was a situation that was already. Oh, you talking about the guy that gave you the $500?
Yeah. But that was the one.
No, not the same guy.
Oh, so all right, my bad.
So what I was trying to explain was, even though this guy was the first person to fuck me and then give me money, right, without me saying,
that opened your mind that you can do it.
I had already dealt with a guy that was telling me that there are guys out here like this, and make sure that you never settle for a nigga that's not gonna fuck with you.
So there was one out here saying that and one out here proving it.
In real life, exactly.
Gotcha.
When it happened in real life, I'm like, damn, this what this nigga was talking about. But the guy that I was dealing with when I was really young, he did a lot for me as well. Like, it was almost manipulative in a way, but like, he took me shopping one day and bought me all of this shit and held it. And then when I went to his apartment, he had it like all on display on the dresser.
It's a sick game out here. It's sick. It's sick. I don't like it. Yeah.
But again, I feel like, and it's really, you know, I don't know, weird or, you know, maybe unconventional, but I feel like this man helped mold me into the woman that I am, and I am proud of it.
I don't believe in, me personally, I don't believe anyone should really regret life.
Oh, I don't regret anything.
Yeah, that's so on the opposite end of the spectrum. I believe that everybody should embrace their downfalls and embrace their lessons and embrace their highest points in their life, right? So you should always kind of, in my opinion, you should always be proud of yourself, no matter where you're at, you know? But like, so right now, like, I got this thing with my girl where I be like, my new thing that I'm trying to drill into her head is like, what's the most efficient way of doing whatever this is, right? So whether it be a business, whether it be, you know, finding a schedule for taking the kids and picking the kids up from school, whatever is the most efficient way, let's push that, and then let's try to see if there's a more efficient way. And if not, you know, if it's not, it's not. So what I'm trying to get to is, do you think that without this whole journey of dealing with drugs, being in the streets, you know what I'm saying, doing all of that, do you think that you could be at the same height that you are right now in another way?